Places change,
People change.
styles change,
Decades change.
and so did rock and roll.
Feel insane every single time I master compromise 'cause I'm afraid.
Music can be said to influence everyone in some way, no matter who you are or where you come from. Just as it had greatly influenced youth in the past, it especially influences the youth of today and the young bands that come with it. We caught up with the youth rock band Neutral Grounds, who recently formed early this year. They tell us about the influence that previous rock music has had on them in writing new music and being a young band in the 2000s. What music influenced your sound?
I'm gonna throw out Pearl Jam, Nirvana, early grunge, a bit of Nirvana, early Black Sabbath. Like our music has like different elements of different feels and different sounds.
Just imagine 4 really talented musicians just put together, and we rehearse a lot. So I guess when you just put talent with persistence and passion, it equals, us.
Why do you think old music is still so influential on the new sounds being produced?
Well, is it? I mean, who said it was? Who said it wasn't? Just because. I think people have a fascination with like realms and dimensions that they can't go. Such as like history. People can never go back there, so people can easily, old-aged hippies can easily just be like, oh, those were the times, man.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
We have to make our own wave of music, why not try and start our own generation music, I want to get over the whole, living in the past thing. It's good to like pick influences at a time. You have to get inspired by other artists.
And I picked him off the street, and I influenced him. He picked you off the street.
I was a little orphan child. He took me under his wing.
We had a chat with Simple Day, a highly energetic 4-piece pop rock band from Auckland, to find out their thoughts on the music industry today.
What music influenced your sound?
All the stuff that I used to listen to growing up, all that sort of 90s pop punk, bubblegum kind of punk thing. I think that was the same for you.
Charlotte, 48 May, Goodnight Nurse. I actually come from more of a funk scene from the 80s. It's a lot different, of course. But in high school, I grew up playing lots of funk music and lots of covers, such as Average White Band, I guess James Brown. When I first joined Simple Day, it was like my first pop punk band.
Acting funny, but I don't know why. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
Why have you chosen this type of music genre, and how does it define your band?
I think we chose it initially because it was real easy and it was real fun to do. I also like a deeper kind of rock, like more of a sophisticated sound. It was real hard to write that kind of stuff. The main reason why we did it because we could do it really well.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
It's
so much fun.
Led Zeppelin's the best.
Led Zeppelin.
Always Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin. A bit of Led Zeppelin, a little bit.
The Led Zeppelin to Led Zeppelin.
All that glitters is gold, and she's buying the staring to heaven. The mountain lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo.
What do you like about the past generation's music?
All their music meant something to anybody, regardless of where you come from or what your age was or anything,
It's about liberty, it's just like rock and roll music. It's art, it's freedom through expression.
In New Zealand to make it as a well-known band, and what are some good tips for making it in this kind of industry for other young band members?
I think it's easy,
Yeah, it's really easy.
It's really easy, like basic, easy as. All you gotta do is just go out there, do it. Don't get negative, just stay positive, and just go out and just dominate, Just like have the most fun time of your life.
and just do what you love and just show true passion, and then you'll go hard.
When Tupac died, everybody realized that you can't be a gangster every day.
Simple Day were originally put together as they wanted to mock the many unoriginal copycat pop-punk bands that were emerging, but they surprised themselves when they really liked what they came up with.
We were like nobody, and we just called up the program manager at Seat4, and we just got an interview straight away, and we got our video on the national television. So you can never do that in America. You have to go through all sorts of stuff.
And saying that as well, like we got our 10 grand loans each.
Yeah, so it was a good video.
We took the step to produce our first video to put towards TV, so it's just that whole publicity, and you got to spend money to make money.
One thing about us is that we don't tend to write the typical love song. We write about lots of random things, like whether they're the smallest things in the world or whether they're about Tupac on the cross or whatever. I mean, who writes about a dinosaur move that they made up in their hometown these days? I mean,
I do. I write about the dinosaur dance that we used to bust out in Kaitaia.
Oh, well, there you go. There's one other person then.
What's the worst thing I can say? Since I've stay so long, and good night.
Do you think that previous rock music has had a big influence on the music we produce today, and why?
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, everything's evolved from everything. So
if you look through the music history, like the periods that started like in the early days with like big brass bands, even it goes back further than that, but you sort of see a gradual change, and it all sort of flows into what we have today.
Looking back on rock and roll music, it has come a long way through the decades.
Music of the past will always influence music at present.
People will always be listening to music from before this time.
As the years continue, so will music, changing in order to evolve.
But how will music change in the future, and what about the music of the 2000s?
We asked the people one last question.
I
don't know. So it's gangster music. Yeah.
I reckon there's too much R&B these days, eh?
Oh, wait a minute.
There's a lot of crap about it. I think it's all emo music and rubbish, to be exact.
I love the homegrown music. We don't really have a band that comes from the heights. Because the generation of 60s was the generation of flowers and love. And current generation just crying.